for my cover ever opportunity home. In this episode, no, maybe sir, maybe Brian, send you or no, or ever Spain has say, and some general questions. Questions there, meaning say, you are willing to know all those questions. So that's basically what you'll be doing today. And bro, you are welcome back to this channel again.
Thank you very much.
All right, so starting with this, I just want you to mention your name. Starting through.
Okay, my name is Samuel. And I'm a friend of his, live here, right here in Spain. I've been here for almost a decade now. So yeah, we couldn't finish the other video the other day, so we are trying to continue on today. Yeah.
All right. My next question was going to be like, how long have you been in Spain? Oh. But then, yeah. So I'll say almost a decade. Yeah. So getting to like 10 years, right? Yes. Okay. So let me skip that one. So my question is, how did you come to Spain? Like, yeah, then about Spain.
Okay. Well, luckily for me, my dad was already here in Spain. So he was the one who did the process, which is in Spanish would be called reagrupación familiar, which is to bring your family, basically reuniting your family with you. So that was the process he went about to bring both me and my mom. So that was how I got to Spain. I didn't have to go through any travel agency or people that take money from you, but my dad was the one who basically did everything and brought us here. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So for what he's saying right now, I want to use this opportunity to let you guys know that after this particular interview, we are going to have a different session of an interview where we will be explaining some possible ways that you can migrate to Spain legally and also get your legal documents here. Like if I talk of legal documents, I mean your permanent residence. Traveling outside your comfort zone, all you need is to get your permanent residence to that particular country so that you can live comfortably there. And most people don't really know how to go about those things. So after this, we are going to do a different video explaining to you guys how to get your legal documents here and then some possible ways you can actually migrate to Spain. Yes, all right. So right now you've been to Spain like almost 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So you know a bit about Spain. You know how the economy works here and how it is. Right? So just brief us about how Spain is. How do you see Spain so far?
When I came to Spain, I was 13 years old. So I can't really say much about Ghana's economy because I was quite young when I came. But I mean, from friends and family back home, with how they complain about how things are going, I think Spain is a really good country. Initially, when I first came to Spain, it was quite hard to see like black people working in like offices and places where they're respected, because as you previously said, there were people that were working in factories. That was the only thing that they were known for. But as time has been moving forward, people have found their ways into better positions in workplaces, and it's helped the economy of Spain. I mean, I don't think the residents, the citizens of Spain would agree with me, but for us immigrants, I think it's much better compared to where we come from. So the economy is good. Yeah, it's really good.
All right. So let me take you to this question. Back home, people have been saying Spain is not a nice country. Let me say a good country in terms of I don't know whether economical or what, I don't know, but they say they're always saying North America is better than Europe, especially Spain. So what do you have to say on that? Do you see Spain as they are saying? Because for me, if you are saying Spain is no good, Spain is making me what I am today. Yeah. When I was in Ghana, this was not how I was. Yeah. I couldn't even afford a pair of shoes. Yeah. So I don't know for you, how do you see Spain so far? Like for what they've been saying?
Okay. I think everyone's opinion is subjective to their experiences. So I can't deliberately say that people are wrong for what they say. But to me, I think Spain is a really, really good country. I've been to some other countries, and compared to how they live, their living expenses, and especially one thing that I like to mention is houses in Spain. Because compared to the UK, the houses are really, really tiny. They are really, really tiny, and the amount they pay for some of these houses are really exaggerated. So if you put some of these things together and you sit down and calculate, you see that Spain is actually a country that you can live comfortably. And compared to some of these other European countries as well, or North America, people have to run several shifts to make their months, their rent and stuff like that. But in Spain, you can work an 8-hour job, and at the month you'll be able to live off it, quite well. So I think Spain is a really.
So this means, because my next question was going to be the cost of living here in Spain. But like you've really said something more about it. I don't know if you have something to talk about the cost of living again, although you've talked about the rent and then comparing it to some of other countries like the UK. Yes, I actually have friends in UK, and then some are paying like 400 for just a room, pounds. And you know, pounds is higher than euros.
Yeah.
And I know some people here who are paying less, like they're paying like 250 for a room, and then the room is very big.
Yeah.
Yes, looking at the rooms, I've never been to UK, but looking at the rooms here, I think they are much better than those in the UK. So talking of the living expenses or the cost of living here, how are you going to break it down to us? Like, how much do you think the average payment a month, and then for you to deduct all your living expenses, your rent, what you use for groceries and other stuff? Like, just take us through those things.
Okay. So to talk about the living expenses, I think I'd have to center in, let's say, some parts of Spain, let's say some cities. And in the previous video, I made mention that I used to live in a town called Lorca. And for example, in that town, let's say the whole, let's say in a flat, you pay about 400. Let's just say you pay about 400, and let's say you can have about 3 people, 4 people, and between the 3 or 4 people, you can afford to pay that 400 a month. And it's
for the whole apartment?
Yeah, for the whole apartment.
Okay,
yes.
Not just a single room.
No, not just a single room. For the whole apartment. Obviously, there are rooms, apartments that you pay much higher prices, but it depends on the place that it is, and the people giving out the rooms. In Madrid, for example, we pay a lot more. We pay extremely more compared to Lorca. So it depends on which parts of Spain as well. And as I previously said, in the UK, I mean, obviously there are places that have like big rooms and things that are really good. It depends on how much you're also making and how much you're willing to put down for where you live. If you want to live comfortably, you can do it as long as you have the money to pay for it. That's fine. But in Spain, let's say for a room, I like to think that people pay maybe 250. 300 in Madrid for a room. Maybe if you're willing to pay a bit more for a room, let's say 400, you can pay more. The rooms that people pay 1,000 and above if you have the money, but let's say generically 400 is good enough to find a room in Madrid. Yes.
Okay. So we can't talk of living expenses. We are talking of how to get a job. So how difficult is it to get a job here in Spain?
Okay. When it comes to the job, I mean, I think it also depends. Depends on the kind of jobs you want to do. There are jobs that hire a lot of people. They hire all the time, basically. So it's easy to get some of these jobs. But let's say for jobs where you have to work in offices and stuff like that, you don't necessarily have to have gone to university or have a college degree, as long as you have your secondary school SHS certificate. Here in Spain, it's called bachillerato. Once you have that, there are jobs like airport jobs that you can do as passenger agents. You can work as customer care as well, and also as well as. If you speak good Spanish as well, it also helps. If you speak English and Spanish, it helps a lot.
That takes me to my next question.
Okay.
So, we have immigrants here who are yet to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
And what they speak is just English, or they are, let me say English, that's the general language that most people speak. So, is it easy for someone who is speaking only the English and yet to learn the Spanish to find or secure a job here in Spain?
Yes, but I'll go back to what I previously said. If you live in, let's say, Madrid, or if you live in Barcelona, I think the chances of you getting an opportunity to work even though you don't speak Spanish, is higher than living in, let's say, a little region in Spain. Because those places, big companies that take in people that speak different languages are not that many over there, because they tend to concentrate most of their energy and resources into the big cities where they have a lot of people from different countries working together. So it is possible. I know a couple of people that don't really speak Spanish, but they work because they speak English. Sometimes you can even get an offer to work as an English teacher for some Spanish kids that want to learn, that their parents will pay you, and yeah, you can find a job, yes.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for that information. Yeah, so we have some people who are yet to travel to Spain or migrate to Spain. Mm-hmm. And I know there are some skilled jobs that really pays here in Spain. Mm-hmm. In the previous video, you made mention of some of the jobs. I want you to hit on that again. That if, let's say I have a brother or a sister back home who is yet to come here, what are some of the skilled works, jobs that he or she should actually learn before coming? Yeah,
okay. As you said, in the other video, I made mention of mechanics, plumbers.
That is fitter.
Yes, look fitter. Fitter for, I can say fitter for. I'm a crap cars, fix a cars. It's a very lucrative job here in Spain. We don't really have a lot of Ghanaian mechanics that have their own shops and stuff like that. But as I've said, as times are changing, and people are changing with it. People are trying to do things for themselves. So, mechanic, if we are fitter, mechanics, we are fitter. And you juma oba Spain, we opportunities there. Over to me, anya juma even said ya when your company be FX can be also be for now when you be on one shop no afa no ni juma. Even after that, no crabby output, Madame for Bibi, and say, oh, pay 20 or 50 euro. It's also a
yes,
and tax. I don't know.
Tax here. Yeah. You know, your friend of cash job.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you're actually. This is the reason why I also will see us here. Before Sababa, because in a way, I know some people here like. I'm not my painters back home. So we say renovating the field now, person painter. Even some of these white I've been calling that person I know. Okay. My friend now I could paint inside. No, now I'm actually on fiscal cash on your tax or the coffee. You're making out of your yeah. All right. So let me allow you to continue.
Yeah. So as I was saying, mechanics. No, it's Omunya Juma. I know this African man. I think he's Senegalese, if I'm not mistaken. That he basically does it as a side hustle. He works with he has an automobile shop that he works with. But then when he closes, he goes to his own side hustle where he doesn't pay tax. And every day when you go, there are people in a queue because and at that place you pay less. You won't pay the same amount as you pay.
Amount for paycheck is free.
Exactly. Yes. Even white people, they also take their cars because they know he's good. Yeah. And then he'll charge them less than what they would pay when they take it to a big shop. So you make money from it. And also, people that fix like washing machines, stuff like that, it's also really good. It's also really good because Europe, nobody washes clothes with their hands. Everything is machine.
Now, so how about you say machine too?
Well, it's freezing. So if you know about washing machines, you know how to fix these things. It's also really good because as I was previously saying, it's a side hustle. We were frozen. Anopaya me machine me so I am. Okay, my 60 na me from sometimes crown obi wo crown na wo akɔhwɛ kɛkɛ no obitima charge no say bia ba be hwɛ ma 20 euro but ukɔhwɛ wie na say dia be fix no bia meto na me na me charge so for adwuma no so na so dia no ayɛ dɛ aka ho yes and to say adwuma bisa no ayɛ fix nyoma fie nyoma sa no if you be a good ho na onim ya it helps you a lot when you get to Spain. Yeah.
All right. Next question. I hope you've had the chance to meet some of the immigrants who came through the sea, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if yes, what was the interaction you had with them, and then how are their lives so far here in Spain?
I think when people usually get to Spain, once they cross the sea and once they get to Europe in general, let's say, I think their reaction is they're just happy to be alive and happy to have made it. Because once you get here, sometimes it's hard to find a job, but once you find a job that you are doing, it's good enough to cater for some of the family back home and to support yourself here as well. So most people that I've met that have come from Africa through the sea are usually happy. Yes, when they first come, maybe the first few months they'll be like, oh, I need a job. They usually, whenever they see, they'll come to you. They'll be like, oh, I need a job. Can you help me? But once they find a job and they're okay, that's it. They just work, but make some money, send it back home, and try to better their life. So in general, people are usually happy once they get here. Yeah.
All right. So are you going to advise someone who is yet to come to Spain through that same route, like traveling through the sea, if that is the only option a person has, looking at the hardship back home? This is a general question, not only Ghana. Let me say Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Personally, I don't think I would advise anyone to go through that route. I have never. I don't know the experiences people go through, but from what they tell me, it's not an easy thing to do, because you put your lives at risk. You put, your family members at home will be thinking about you, praying that you make it. And if you don't make it, you might be their hope. So I know the country is hard. Yes, if you think you have the willingness and the capability to do it, then who am I to say don't do it? You can try. You can try your best, and you never know where you might end up in life. But if you are somebody who has a little home that they can help you to, maybe come through like visitation or something, to use that as a means of coming.
For that one, I just want you to keep that one aside, because we have a different video. That's where we are going to talk about some possible ways to get to Spain through, like, let me say, coming with a flight. So that one will be a different topic. But then, what final words we are, like, whether it being an advice or like anything at all you have for them?
Mainly for my Ghanaian brothers, because those are the people that I've grown up with. Those are the people that I know. But if you are anywhere in Africa and you think it can help you, then I'm happy to help. As we were saying, we should try and find routes where our lives won't be put in danger, because from stories that people tell us, when they go by desert and by sea, they suffer a lot. They see people that die in front of them, their friends and family, and you cannot do anything. And it's something that takes a toll on your mental health as well. You might not notice it at first, you might not think of it in any way, but in the long run, these are things that could have problems on your mental health. Seeing people die, I don't think it's an easy thing to witness. Well, because there are people that say that when they are coming, because of water, because of the little water that he would drink, he would deny his brother, and then his brother will die and something like that. So it's something that we need to be careful about. Try to find routes, even if it's school. Try and pursue school for a bit, and then get a certificate that you can use to apply to at least if your idea is to migrate here, use that as an option to get here, and then once you get here, you can do whatever you want. But taking the route where you put yourself in danger, I think it's something that we should start putting in consideration for both ourselves and for our family.
All right, thank you. So when you subscribe to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, please. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also put the notification on all. These are some of the interaction you should be watching, and then use those words to educate yourself. So this is where we are ending this video, and then make sure you follow and then share for others to also come and then watch. Thank you. If you have any question, put in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.